So starting off with a little bit about Sarbanes and the policy itself. So when we talk about Sarbanes, specifically as it relates to spreadsheets, what we're really talking about is section 404. And so within this section, really what Sarbanes is asking or requiring companies to do is for management of public companies to assess the effectiveness of their internal controls over their financial reporting. So this applies to all companies, regardless of industry, and really is a C-suite and board level priority. Now, how we do this is first by defining an effective spreadsheet policy. And there are really three main components to this. The first being the identification of all your critical spreadsheets that make up or feed into your financial reporting processes. Now, while identification is nice and it's a great step, you still see that we have it listed in red there. As we grow this program and we build out our policy more and more, the next core component is being able to maintain an effective inventory of all your spreadsheets. Being able to apply controls and managing that spreadsheet risk. You'll see here how we kind of move from red to green over the course of our policy. And while the first two are critical, really great first steps that we recommend that every customer take, until you get to that controls aspect, your risk and the risk that these bring, it really isn't being managed effectively. And it's making sure that you're evidencing that controls are consistently applied. So really this audit and management reporting needs to be applied throughout all three of these policy elements to make sure that you can show your management as well as your auditors, both internal and external, that all three of these things are being done. What Apparity really does, and it's kind of we've grown in this space. I mentioned that spreadsheets truly are kind of our bread and butter, but spreadsheets really aren't built in a silo. And so there's this world, what we call end user computing, that's made up of spreadsheets as well as databases and other applications. And while spreadsheets kind of make up the lion's share of all these applications, spreadsheets are connected to other data sources. They manipulate data and output to other data sources, and all these things are working with one another. So your policy needs to be able to reflect that, and you need to be nimble enough to be able to kind of manage all these different inputs as well as the different environments that your spreadsheets are going to be in. Now, a spreadsheet, as we've kind of talked about or hinted at as we've gone through this, as I've talked through some of these slides, really isn't too much unless you can enable it. And really the only effective way to do that is through technology enablement. So we really do view this piece as core and going part and parcel with an established policy. And these two things together are really what's going to make up an overall risk management framework for your spreadsheets. Now, as we kind of move into talking a little bit more about Apparity, this is really where we are focused as a company. So as we look at the Apparity solution itself, what Apparity is designed to do, and how we built our modules, is to map to those same three core capabilities that each policy needs to have. So as a solution, what Apparity is designed to do is a number of things, and I have some of those listed here. So the first one being, we want to be able to enable that spreadsheet governance policy and procedures. Now, this same technology needs to work well with your users. So users can't be forced to go through rigorous processes, especially as they're going through closed periods and helping build the final financial reporting. They need to be able to easily take responsibility, but also maintain compliance without a solution that kind of gets in their way. Now, we've also tried to build the Apparity solution to be scalable across the enterprise. Many times when we come into a new environment, what we'll see is that companies will start off in their financial reporting, or start off with a small user group, and they'll kind of scale out from there across different user groups. So maybe the heaviest users of spreadsheets, and then they move out. So finally, we also realize that every company is different. So Apparity is configurable to reflect the unique requirements that each company has. So while all companies need to comply with one regulation that SOX, how each company does that is going to be different. How each company is organized and set up is going to be different. So making sure that our solution and making sure that your policy and our solution can work together to be able to accomplish that.